Good morning. So the purpose of this video is to go back through all the exercises that we did during the Golf Without Groans workshop and try to put those in context for you and make sure that you remember how those are done properly. Along with this, you're also going to get a PDF file that will help you kind of understand how to do those without having to look back through this video to find what you're looking for. That'll either be a PDF file or some pictures taken from this video. So the first thing we're going to look at is your hip. We want to make sure that your hips are rotating appropriately so that they're not sharing stresses with other part of your body. That's what often causes low back pain whenever you're playing golf. So the first one we're going to do is a figure four. So I'm going to lay sideways and show you this direction, and I'll show you from another angle as well. So you're going to prop one foot up over the other. In this case, we're going to be stretching our right leg. How far away this foot is depends upon how intense of a stretch you want. Closer is more intense, further away, less intense. And you're gonna press with your hand into this hip. If it feels like that's a really long reach, you can grab a ball or a coffee can or something that you have to place in here and push against that. And that should limit how far you feel like you have to reach. You'll hold this one for 30 seconds. If we were to look at that from the top down, you'd be here. This top-down angle is going to be really important here in a second. Pay attention to how this down leg is still just kind of straight in line with my body, because that's going to change on the next exercise. So the next one is to make sure that your hips internally rotate enough. This is really important for your lead hip so that you can be able to swing all the way through the ball. It's really important for your trail hip so that you can actually get back into your backswing. And remember, that longer arc is what helps give you good speed. So I'm gonna stretch the left leg this time. It's gonna be my down leg. So I'm gonna move this leg out to the side. I'm gonna place this one over the top. You can see where these can get a little confusing. And this leg is gonna twist like this. It's gonna twist to try to pull my left foot or left knee down towards the ground. You're gonna notice here that you're seeing the bottom of my foot. I allowed it to roll off. There's gonna be some trunk rotation. This hip will lift off, but you're trying to minimize that and use this right foot to push down towards the floor. Again, hold 30 seconds, do both sides. Okay, the next area that we're going to look is your upper back. Your upper back's responsible for rotating so that your lower back doesn't have to side bend or do anything unusual to help you get through your swing, get into the backswing and get all the way through. So the first one that we're gonna do is it looks a little bit like a low back stretch, but it gets that lower third of your thoracic spine. So again, we're here in this position, okay? These get a little confusing. Look closely at the pictures. And you're gonna roll. As you roll, you're gonna potentially feel the middle to upper back. You may feel the lower back. If you're feeling the lower back, your feet are probably too far away from you. So bring them in close and roll. Okay? Again, 30 seconds. We'll come back out of this one. Now, you can also attack this from the top end of your spine. So for some of you, you may need a pillow doubled up under your head. Hands out in front, you're gonna roll your trunk. Try to get this hand all the way down to the ground. Now, if that's bothering your low back, again, bring your knees a little closer, hold on to them with this bottom arm, and then perform that movement. You guessed it, 30 seconds. Okay, now, if either of those is too difficult or you don't want to get on the floor, you can grab a chair or sit by the kitchen table or whatever you need. And you'll use your hands to try to turn your trunk further. Oftentimes when people do this, they get some cracks and pops. That's okay. Okay? Again, 30 seconds. That's going to be pretty standard when you're stretching anything. Okay, now we're going to keep this chair We're gonna stretch out your shoulders. If your shoulders aren't flexible enough or your upper back isn't flexible enough, that's what causes you to stand up out of your swing in a lot of circumstances and causes some issues. Okay, so we're going hands on the chair in front of you, weight feels like it's balanced over your knees, and you're gonna sink down towards the ground. Hand position can change for people. Some people like them facing one another and makes it more comfortable, but you're trying to get your chest down towards the ground. And you should feel a stretch in your upper back and a stretch through here. Now, we can also go to your neck. I'm gonna sit on the floor while I do these. Most likely it'll be most comfortable for you up in a chair. If your neck doesn't lean, if your neck doesn't rotate, you're gonna have a hard time finishing your swing because it has to be able to stay centered while your trunk rotates. So the two movements that we can do here, one is the easy neck stretch you've probably seen people do a million times. I'm not pulling, I'm just resting the weight of my hand on there. Do I need to tell you how long? 30 seconds. Okay, and the second one is going to be turning your head with a little bit of extra pressure from your hand. So you'll press into it here. Same thing, both sides. Okay. Lastly, we're gonna get a little bit of an ankle stretch. If your left ankle doesn't dorsiflex, if it can't make this motion, whenever you go to swing, you're gonna get stuck here and everything else is gonna have to move around it. So, in order to stretch your calf, you can get up against the wall. In this case, the chair's a little low, but I'm gonna use that for my support. You're gonna lean your hands into the wall and you're gonna sink forward, keeping that heel on the ground. You don't wanna see it pop up. Sink your hips forward. You'll feel a stretch in the top half of your calf, the pretty part. Okay, after that one, you can do the back knee bent, and that'll stretch the lower part of the calf. I personally prefer to put this one as my front leg so I can get some weight over it, but really on this one you'll want to use the wall so you don't feel like you're going to fall over. If you can implement those exercises, it really ought to help you be more flexible and stay pain-free playing golf. If you have more questions, you have my phone number. You can text me at 817-213-6087 and I'll do my best to help you. Have a great day and thank you for coming to the workshop.